Let's break it down. Y'all know who it is, man. You know what it is. I'm gonna jump right into this one, man. I'm not even playing right now. Y'all know when I'm in my bag, I'm in my bag. Let's get it, man. Roll it.
The 90s, the guy that's going back and watching all the 80s and 90s basketball games and saying they trash, they couldn't go left, they had no help side defense, all that stuff. I want to address this. I'm seeing a lot of the old heads trying to change the subject. I want to remind you why people are going back specifically to the late 80s and the 90s. Specifically, they're not going back and watching the 60s. They're not even going back. Some of these young bucks on TikTok, they're not even going back and watching the early 2000s, the Kobe, T-Mac, Iverson era. Why? It's because y'all didn't play y'all role. In the world of people who love basketball, everybody has a role. When LeBron James stepped on the floor, for people that were born in 1995 like me, after the Jordan era, we played our role. We said, wow, this is probably the best version of a basketball player that I've ever seen with my own eyes. It might be the best version ever. That's exactly how we were supposed to act. That's how you guys reacted before Mike had even gotten close to the conversation of getting as many rings as Bill Russell, which he obviously never did. You guys called him the best player ever. And the motherfuckers from the 60s and the 50s let y'all live. Y'all didn't let us live. Y'all had to go on and be like, oh, no, young buck, you ain't see it. In the 90s, the defense was way tougher, and Joe Dumars was giving people black eyes and split lips, and it was crazy. You didn't let us live. And you didn't think the internet was going to be what it was. And I don't blame you, because you're not the first one to get caught by that. But now all the games are on the internet, and motherfuckers is just watching it. They're like, what is this? I was told all these stories, these fairy tales about what 90s defense was. They leaving Michael Jordan wide open in playoff games, year after year. And now y'all are doing something that we call running from the smoke. And I need you to do something that we call standing on business. Things get better. LeBron James might be like the version of the iPhone that we have in our hands right now. And it doesn't mean that like the first version wasn't monumental. It's okay for things to get better. You guys stopped it. You guys stopped us from talking about how things get better and appreciating the evolution of the game of basketball. And now it's coming back in your face. And it never made sense to me because we pretend like these are different eras. But if you're 65 years old, this is still your era. You still watch basketball. You don't have to have a solidarity to the stage of basketball you were watching when you were 20 and 30. This is still your era. All of this is going on during your era. Enjoy the greatness that we're getting to see.
Listen to me, man. I'm gonna try to contain myself as much as I can right now, because I'm about to set it off like Queen Latifah. I'm about to blow this shit up. Now, let me start out by saying this. To all the goofy ass Negroes that I told this to back in the day that said I was crazy, the Abe Wests of the world, goofy. The Vance Marshalls of the world, Fat Boy, goofy. The Don Preachets of the world, goofy. Well, I ain't gonna put my man Sheed out there, but Sheed was talking some shit too sometimes. The Chesters of the world, goofy. All of y'all old heads are goofy. I'm gonna put y'all on blast right now. I was saying this for the longest time. And I'm gonna say this to the king of goofies, Abe West. You know who the hell I'm talking about. I told this man, this is going to come back and haunt y'all. And here we are in the young boy era. I told him specifically that these young boys are going to figure this shit out. Y'all old heads are dwindling away. While the young boys are here, they're here. The old ones are dwindling away. The Michael Jordan fans are dwindling away. I told y'all they were going to catch up with what the goofy shit y'all was talking about. About the whole, oh, this era was more physical. This era was more. Now look at what these niggas, listen to me. They pulling everything up and watching them. And they put it, y'all look at my streams. Listen to me. For those who are talking sensible, I'm riding with them. If you talk with some sense, I'm riding with you. And the young boys presenting evidence. You can't hide from it no more. Like my man just said, they going back right now and watching the tapes that y'all thought wasn't going to be there. Oh, y'all just wanted them to take y'all word, huh? They not taking your word no more. Now I'm not calling this one. I'm not going to say nothing about this one. Now they saying that Jordan couldn't go left. I'm gonna leave that alone. Now that's a different angle that I ain't never take. But I did, and this is another thing that I told these goofy ass niggas about. I told them back in the era, me, before this whole thing there with these young boys talking about they went back and watching this stuff. I went back and watched a couple of the games. I ain't saying watch all of them, the playoff games where Jordan was playing all these niggas, these old ass, goofy ass, non-athletic people back in the day. And of course, if you see, like my man just said, if you see an Apple product back in the 60s, what you think? What do you think? It's gonna be like a Ferrari, dog, compared to old Mazdas. That's what I was telling them. When I watched some of these games that Michael Jordan was playing in the playoffs, dog, how are you a coach allowing this man to cook you like this? Nobody knew about double teams. Nobody knew about double teams. Half the time Jordan was standing alone. If this man is cooking you the way how he's cooking you, nobody ain't gonna send a double team or a triple team to get the ball out his hands. This is what I seen when I went back and watched these games. This is me telling y'all this. I'm just being real with y'all. They all gonna look and tell me like the young boys now saying Bird. You see the footages they putting up on Bird now. Granted, I'm not gonna say that out of some nights you're not gonna have a bad night, because sometimes you're going to have a bad night. And I don't know if the young boys just putting up bad footage or this is just almost 85% of Bird's career that he looking this bad. Because Bird looking bad out here right now. And you not going to tell, this is what I was telling them. You're not going to tell me that era was better than this era because they used to play rugby and football back in that era. That's not basketball, fool. That's somebody just trying to fight on a basketball court. It takes skill. Now, do I agree with what's going on right now, defensive wise in this NBA? Hell no. When you got two teams putting up 150 in a regular season game, no, get back to the defense. I ain't telling you to go out there and play rugby. That's not what I'm saying, but that's what they was doing. And they call that basketball. They substitute skill for rugby. That's what the old heads made us to believe. When I was saying this back then, niggas was looking at me like I was crazy. But guess what, old ass niggas? The young boys now putting it together and they bringing footage now because y'all thought that the internet wasn't going to be what it is right now. So guess what? They going back, looking at the games and posting this shit and making y'all look stupid as shit. Yes, I'm talking to y'all. I'm going off right now. That's me going off. I was saying this for the longest time. There was no competition back then. Yes, you had a couple sprinkle niggas in there that would give you some work, but it's not like what we have right now in this era, fools. Not at all. Not at all. Look at who we have in this league that's going out right now and still balling to the ones that's coming in and balling. Not comparable, family. I'm not trying to hear that. I keep telling people, man, I'm not saying that athleticism going to always be superb over skill. I'm not saying that, but athleticism plays a part. And yes, granted, athleticism will leave you as you get older, and then the skill would take over. I get that. I get all of that. But it is nowhere close to what we have in this league right now, dog, at all. At all. You see, we got the reigning MVP. Look at the reigning MVP. Man can't even jump, but look what he's doing. Look what he's doing. I rest my case, man. I rest my case. I ain't saying nothing else. I just want to come on here, air my piece out, and let y'all goofy ass niggas fight on the internet right now. I told y'all I was Shannon Sharp before Shannon Sharp. These same goofy ass niggas that I mentioned in the beginning of the show, they'll tell you that I was the one of the only people where I'm from screaming Bron Bron like that. I'm talking about Dallas, before Dallas, all of that. But it's all right. Young boys keep doing your thing. I told them the young boys going to eventually catch on, and they're going, all these old ass niggas that was talking that goofy shit back in the 80s. The 80s was the best basketball era. That's dead. These young boys watching the tapes now. Now, I ain't gonna get in, like I said, I'm not gonna get into that Michael Jordan can't go left, but I'm gonna be honest with you. I kind of watched some footage, and I ain't saying that they lying, but they ain't lying. I'm gonna leave that alone. I holler at y'all, man. It's the boy, it's the kid, man. It's the intelligent one.